continue to gather, you might go ahead and find a comfortable seat. If sitting is just, you've had enough and you want to lie down on your back, you can also do that. So this is time for you to take care of yourself. Make sure that the camera is set that you're able to see me. And there you go. Yeah, I think you can see me better there if you can kind of see the area where my mat is. So, all right, so we'll get started. So we're coming against some challenging times. Our students are being challenged. We're being challenged by our students being challenged. So I thought that this was marvelous sutra to open with this morning. And sutras are threads of thought about yoga, and they used to be passed down, orally, and then Patanjali wrote them down. And so in chapter 1, thread 33, the mind becomes quiet when it cultivates friendliness in the presence of happiness, active compassion in the presence of unhappiness, joy in the presence of virtue, and indifference toward error. And so at these challenging times, can we do that? Can we work towards cultivating friendliness in happiness times? And can we be compassionate even in the presence of unhappiness? And can we find joy in the presence of virtue? And when there's error, can we find indifference? Taking a moment just to contemplate. So finding that comfortable seat. Make adjustments, and if you're on your back, feel free to stay there. I'm going to use the sound of the bowl. Just allowing the sound to call you here and now. Taking a moment to notice how you're feeling in your physical body. The areas in the body that are not happy. Maybe they've been sitting a lot. Maybe feeling tight. Noticing how your breath is. Are you able to breathe? See if you can observe the breath and start to awaken from the belly. So you feel the diaphragm contracting and with the breath beginning to inhale from the belly. And feeling it lift up to the heart space, into the crown of the head. And then let it go downwards. And just noticing this difference, this deep breath. This is a breath that you can easily come to in your day. And when we stress out, we tend to breathe in the upper quadrants of the lungs. Deep inhalations and deep exhalations. And being the observer of the breath, this allows the chitta of the mind to quiet. Taking a moment to allow an intention to distill in your mind's eye. What's that quick phrase that arises in your mind? Not letting your mind judge it, just simply be with it. Finding Ujjayi breath with a gentle constriction in the back of the throat. If you're new to this breath, maybe open the lips slightly. Feel as if you're fogging up a mirror in front of your lips on the exhalation. Then feel the breath drawing towards the back of the throat as if you're sipping up out of a straw. A gentle constriction in the glottis, never tight, gentle. And as you begin to feel that gentle constriction in the throat, you can let your lips close and flow the breath in your avenues. And letting go of control of the breath. Take a moment to feel. Reconnect with intention. And bring the hands heart center and unite across the airways with the sound of one beautiful Om. The syllables vowel, and then silence. Taking an inhale. Open the eyes. Sending greetings across the airways, the internet ways. Make your way onto all four. The knees might be under a blanket here, and tabletop. And feather out the fingers, roll the shoulders down, let your hands maybe go forward a little more if there's discomfort in this. So feel nice and stable into the belly. And today I thought we'd get a little more energetic so that we could get our energy moving. But always be mindful, and this is your practice, so be where your body needs to be. Feel free to make it more gentle or make it more vigorous as your body is calling for today. So feel nice and solid through the two hands down to the mat and one knee, and then lift the other leg out to the side like a fire hydrant. And then start to circle around that hip socket, and then let it go in the other direction. Good, then take that leg straight back, lift up the belly, move the heel towards the buttocks, lubricating the knee. Good, then hold that leg out there, press the heel away, and then circle around your ankle, and let it go in the other direction. And wiggle your toes. And then place that foot down and shift your weight back. So you're pressing the ball of the foot through your heel, moving back. It's not touching the ground, it's just moving back. Feel it in the lower calf. And then lifting the leg, cross it over to the other side. Keep your belly lifted, keep your head lifted. And just move your shoulder towards the hip on the other side. It's like you're kind of looking through the edges of your eyes towards your foot behind you. Keep the lift up in the standing knee and hip. And then release and return. Okay, send your tailbone out, belly down, and lift through the neck and the head. And then send the tail down, navel in, and roll the chin to the chest. Inhale to move into dog tilt, also called cow, and exhale to move into cat. Feel free to unite the voice with the breath, with your movement here as you go into cat and dog tilt. And then bring yourself into neutral. Feel the head moving towards the front of your mat. Your sits bones are moving to the rear of the mat. Nice and solid through the hands and the other knee, and lift the leg out to the side. Circle around the hip socket one direction, and then let it go in the other direction. Good, then take that leg straight back, lift through the belly, move the heel towards the buttocks, lubricating the knee. And then hold that leg out there, lift through the belly. And then circle around the ankle, one direction, another direction, wiggle your toes. And then place the ball of the foot down. And shift back just a bit to wake up your gastroc, the lower part of your calf. And then shifting forward, lift that leg and cross it over to the other side. And keep your head lifted and then move your shoulder towards that hip, looking back out of the edges of your eyes, stretching the eyes. They've been on screen a lot. Good, and then come on back. And then start to barrel as you roll around as if you're, every time I do this I think about rolling down the hills in my grandmother's yard in Dyersburg, Tennessee. It's just like a child rolling and playing. And then let yourself go in the other direction. And then come into neutral. Send your hips back to your heels. If this is at all uncomfortable, roll onto your back and hug your knees into your chest. You can let your head go down. You can bring stacked hands or fists onto the forehead. Whatever feels right here. You can also let your arms slide back by your feet. Again, if this is uncomfortable to your knees, roll on your back and hug your knees in. And bring the hands under the shoulders and lift your trunk. And coming up onto your knees, take a long step forward with your right leg. And then settle that hip forward, lift up out of your chest, and sweep the arms up. Good, slide the hands down. Feel free here. You can bring blocks in here, or just bring your hands in with spider hands. And send the hip back, never locking into any joints, the fingers or the knee. Spread out the toes, and then point that toe away. And then settle forward. Going to put your left hand down, bring your right hand up to your thigh, lengthen out of your trunk, and start to rotate, move the navel towards the thigh. Choose to stay right here. Okay, you can let your neck roll around there, but keep it lifted up out of your shoulder girdle. Take your right arm and sweep it straight back, thumb up, and then reach it up to the ceiling. Choose to stay there, or take it over the head. Be in that place where you can breathe, noticing how you're breathing. Good, and then bring the hand down, sliding back, lifting your trunk, Hands to the heart, and take the left leg forward. Just getting it there how you need to. And then reach those arms up. And then coming on down, choose to use blocks here or feather those fingers and spider hands. Move the toes to the shin. Keep your belly touching your thigh. It's not important that the leg is straight. It's more important that you're feeling the opening in the hamstring. Good, and then you can point that toe away, open shin. And shifting forward, right hand down, left hand up to your thigh, lengthen out of your trunk. And start to spiral, moving the navel towards the thigh. Nice length into the neck. Then sweep the left arm back, thumb up. Choose to stay there or lift it straight up. Or frame the head. Are you breathing? Good, and then bringing that hand down, sliding back. And walk your hands back towards your knees and then roll over the balls of your feet. Eventually making your way up into a standing position and allow your belly to relax over your thighs. Move the hands to the shins and extend your spine. Root down the feet and sweep the arms up, finding mountain. Interlace the fingers if that feels okay to your shoulders, or take the arms out wide or bring one arm down. Moving into half moon, root down your feet, free right under your shoulders. Send the hips one direction and fold in the opposite direction. Inhaling back to center. And then exhaling over to the other side. Remember, you can have your arms wide, you can bring an arm down. It's all about being able to breathe. It's not about being in a shape. It's about being able to breathe. Root down the feet and return. Bring the hands alongside the body, soften the knees, and let go. Sun moon breath. So lift up out of the crown of your head, nice and tall. Reach the fingertips on down. Find a little softness in the ankles, the knees, and the hips. At the same time, feel firmly grounded. And then inhale and sweep the arms up. You can let your eyes close once you figure this out. And then exhale and move the hands down, the mind, to the heart. Inhaling. And exhale. And one more time. And move the hands down to the heart. You're going to take a long step forward with your right foot. Maybe wiggle it out just a little bit more. Come up onto the ball of the foot on the left leg. And then crescent lunge and sink on down. Reach the arms up. Then move the hands down to the heart and rotate towards that right thigh. Taking the arms out to the side, are you breathing? Reach those arms up, plant the back foot down, open the hip, warrior two. Back hand to back thigh, keep the front knee rooted down, open, exalted warrior. And then straighten the front leg as you reach forward for your triangle. Lengthen out of the waist, open the side of the body, choosing to lift the arm up, choose to look towards the upper arm. Top arm framing the head if you'd like. Begin to bend the front knee, And then bring the hands on down. Step back, find full or modified plank, and breathe. Slowly descend. Belly to the mat. Top of the feet down, feather out the fingers. Take a moment and feel here. Let your pig bone move to the mat and inhale. Begin to lift the heart up in Bhujangasana Cobra. Not using the hands here. And then you're going to choose to come from your knees or move through the plank. Soften your knees and send your hips up into downward dog. And pads of the hands are down, especially the index finger. Wrap the armpits up and under. And then soften your knees. Walk your hands back towards your feet. And let your belly relax over your thighs. Feet can be hip width apart. Bring your hands to your shins and lengthen up at your waist. Belly on the thigh, hands to the ankles, flexing forward. If you have osteoporosis, keep spinal extension. Any issues in the sinuses, keep the spine in extension. Move the hands to the shins, lengthen your trunk. Reach the arms out and up. Bring the hands down to the heart. Let the eyes close. Just noticing the breath. We'll go to the left leg. If you did the left leg already, just go to the right. Take a long step forward with that left leg. You might need to wiggle it forward. Come up onto the ball of the foot to square out those hips. Crescent lunge, reach the arms up. Get that tailbone moving under, not pull back, lift up the belly. Move the hands to the heart and start to rotate towards that front leg side. Arms can go out to the side. Shoulders are going to stay aligned in that spine. Inhale the arms up, plant the back foot down, and open the hip to warrior two. Balance out your hip points, not kick back. Straighten front leg, keep the length up on the front side. As you reach forward, rotate the arms as you meet your edge. Top arm can frame the head. And that front knee, come on down. Find your plank. It could be modified on the knees. Able to breathe. Slowly descend. Top of the feet to the mat, keep it going down, breathe your cobra. Choose to come from the knees, or push the ground away, lift to the trunk, soften the knees and down the dog. Soften knees, walk those hands back towards your feet. Feet under the hips, belly on the thighs. Again, you can choose to stay right here or belly down, hands to the ankles, elbows bend. Bring the hands, the shins lift up out of the waist, along in your trunk. Use the power of the legs to lift that trunk, arms up. Bring the hands down to lower. And close your eyes for just a moment. Notice your breath. Moving into tree, Vipassana. So open the eyes and find a soft gaze about 6 feet in front of you. Choose a leg you want to start on, pivot out with the other leg. Keep your hip points in the same plane instead of letting them kick. Keep it lifted. Maybe you bring that foot up to the inner thigh. Maybe you move it up above the knee, but it's always with hips balanced here. Hands can stay at the heart. You can use a chair to help you balance or a wall. Arms can reach up. Are you breathing? Kindly returning, letting go, close your eyes. Feel the blood rush moving into the standing leg. Going to the other side, feel free to place your hands on your hips as a reminder, or keep the hands on the heart. Focus your gaze, and then start to pivot out. You can keep the toe on the ground. You can bring it up to your shin or above the knee. Keep those hips balanced. Feel the energy lifting up from the inner thighs, the central line of your body. Maybe reach those arms up. Maybe interlace them. Is not on the knee. Mindfully let go. Relax the hands to the side body, soften the body. Just absorbing the groundedness of the Vipassana tree. Hands to the heart and the knees, move the belly on down. And then you can make your way onto your buttocks. And let your legs go out the side. If this is uncomfortable, you can always do down angle. You can also take and sit upon the edge of a blanket. Notice I have several prepared, or a bolster. You can use blocks in front of you. So find active feet. So you don't want your knees to be hyperextended, so just a little tiny bit of energy into the balls of the feet helps prevent that. Lift up out of your waist and you can start to move forward. And again, you could use a bolster here. You could use a resist ball here to help you go forward. And you just kind of lean forward from your hips and maybe the forearms go down onto the bolster. You could also have a chair right here and use it, or a resist ball. All sorts of tools that could be used. You're wanting to feel this in the inner thighs, not in your low back. If you have more give, you can go lower. But remember, awareness of the breath. Yoga done without awareness of the breath is not yoga. That's kind of creating a stress response. mindfully returning. You can set the blocks aside. So bring those legs together and give just a little massage to your knees, relaxing those ankles, circling the other direction. So this next one can be done either on your back or from seated position, where you're here and you just cross over, or you're down on your back and you move into figure 4. Okay? So choose whichever feels better for you. If you're in this seated variation, make sure your shoulders are rolling down, you're lifting up out of your chest, you're not slumped down in your neck. Feel your neck lifting up, like a little turtle coming out of its shell. And then notice when the foot is relaxed, whichever position you're in, relax it for a moment. And then move the toes of the shin. And find just a little more activation there. See if you can kind of get a little more release in the hips. Never loading into the shoulder. Let your shoulder blades roll down the back of your body. And so some of you will stay there, some of you start to send the weight back a little bit, and maybe interlace your fingers underneath your thigh and lift the foot. Now if you're falling, if you're loading in your back, then bring your hands back down and don't go any further. You can lift that leg up, find some action in the foot. And then you return. Hands down, release. Let your feet go out as wide as the mat and gently drag those knees side to side. We'll go to the other side. If you're on your back, just switch your leg. The hands can be out, facing forward or facing back. The most important part is that your shoulders are down and you're not loading into those wrists. And then taking the other ankle and bringing it up. And finding a little bit of activation in the foot as opposed to being relaxed, and notice just that difference. Lift the chest towards the shin, lengthen your trunk. Notice, is this one tighter than the other? And then if you'd like to, you can start to shift the weight back, move your hands under your thigh. Maybe lift the leg, maybe straighten the leg. Lift up the chest. And return that foot down, unthread the legs. If you're on your back, just stay there, maybe hug the knees into the chest. If you are on your seated position, find Dandasana, lift up out of your chest. Activate the legs. That's my dear, I don't know if you can hear her, but she's my dear Abigail, my friend. She says hello. And then you can keep these feet active. I'm going to shift my mat. You can keep your feet active. We're going to start to roll on down and bring yourself all the way down. If there's any twinge in the back, bend your knees. So there's no need to hurt your back here at all. Energy in those legs help stabilize the core. And you can reach those arms up and over the head and find some length. Pull the shoulders down in Supta Tadasana. Incline mountain. Bring the arms down alongside the body. Bring your heels as close as you can towards your buttocks. And it's not important that you can reach for them, because the tendency is to reach for them and then pull that foot out of alignment. What you want to do is find the place that your heels are as close to your buttocks as is comfortable for your knees to protect the knees without torquing those knees and overworking the iliotibial band. Find some energy in your inner thighs. You can put a rolled up towel here, or if you have a little tiny resist ball that could go in there. They have little tiny kids play toy, or you could use a yoga block. Slide your arms down alongside your body. Tuck your shoulder blades inside here. And again, you might not be able to touch your heels. It's all based on the anatomy of your arms and how your knee joints are doing, okay? So press down with the feet and start to lift your hips on them. Keep your arms nice and long and start to feel yourself lifting up into the chest. Keep the knees aligned with the hip points. Don't let them splay out. Keep them lifted. Don't let them splay out. If you splay out, it'll hurt your low back. Some of you are going to interlace your fingers, but if your arms are up off the mat, then your body's asking you to keep the arms nice and long. You could also put a towel there and hold on to the towel to keep the arms on the mat. So you can stay right here, or you can lift a leg straight up. Remember, part of that extra work today. And bring it on down. Release. Angelos says hello as well. Maybe he told you it's time to get out of that bridge. Take a moment to feel. And coming back into that alignment, the heels close to the buttocks, arms slid on down, your fingers are reaching towards your feet, they don't have to touch them. Root down the feet, start to lift the hips on up. Shimmy those shoulders if you're going to go into that. Interlace the fingers, maybe use a strap on a blanket or a towel. Lift those hips. Remember, don't let those legs go out. Keep them lifted, keep the knee aligned with your hips. And your second toe, the toe next to your big toe. Able to breathe. And if you'd like a little more, lift that leg up. And when you're ready to, letting that go, releasing, slide on down. Let the soles of your feet touch. You can put blocks under the thighs and let your thighs relax. Fold the legs back together. And just take a moment, be still. There's absolutely nothing you can do with this next moment. Just be still. And lift the feet straight up. So you've got this option. You could also use a strap here. And the other option is to take blocks or stacked blankets or pillows or a bolster. I'm going to use blocks today. And you just go to that bridge and you can put one or both right under your sacrum, so you don't want it wedged into your back and you don't want it wedged in the glutes. You're right at the lower part of your spine, the sacrum. That's where you place those blocks and you'll feel a lot more security there. If it feels uncomfortable, then something's out of alignment. It's just not right. It should be just like the little bear's porridge. Perfect. So the nice thing here is you could lift your legs straight up. Keep the shoulders down. You can let your arms go out to the side here if you like. Keep the arms alongside the body. You're not trying to move those feet over your head. You're just trying to keep those legs straight up over the hips. It does require a little core strength. Again, if you have glaucoma, anything happening up in the head, sinus issues, a headache, migraine, just keep your hips on the ground. If you are currently on your flow, keep your hips on the ground. You don't want to move the blood in the other direction, the flow in the opposite direction. Where you're at, bend those knees. Slide your left leg down. If you're flat on the ground, that's perfectly fine. Just slide it down. Interlace your fingers on that right shin and hug the knee into the chest. Good, and then release. Let both knees be bent. Take a moment to be still. Let your right leg extend out. Notice we started on the right. And bring your left knee in. Interlace your fingers on the shin. This should be comfortable. If it feels uncomfortable, then move the gear from the back. And then releasing. Letting it go. Let your knees touch, the feet go wide. The great thing about yoga is it's this great science experiment on the mat. You get direct feedback. You experiment with doing things in one way and your body tells you, oh, that's good, or oh, that's not so good. Helping you to make your way into your body's best alignment. If you're using gear with the knees bent, lift your hips by pressing into your feet, and then take the gear out from under you. And slide it to the side. If a blanket or a bolster, you might want to use that for this. I'm going to take and put my blanket in the long way. You could also have a stack of pillows to the side. Bedroom pillows work great as well as couch pillows. So move your legs towards your belly, gently rock. And then just move your legs on over towards the blanket. And notice I'm placing it down on my shin. Look in the opposite direction of your knees. Breathe in. Mindfully return back to midline. And you can take that blanket or pillow and put it on the other side. And then when you're ready to fold over towards that side, it works really great to place it along the shin. You can also put it between the legs. And then looking in the opposite direction. Mindful return back to midline. And then let your feet touch, let your hands hold to the knees, and just let your knees circle, releasing any tension in the hips. Good, and then choose either to wrap the hands around the shins. If you'd like to, you can take one hand, wrap it to the outside of the foot. Bring your hand on the inside. You can keep your feet like so, no big deal. You can have the feet touching the knees out. You can do a half blissful baby, letting one leg go up, and the other leg going up. you could also take and extend out the leg and switch sides for a minute. Again, these are just suggestions. It's never a have to do. You may have your own intuitive witness calling you to do something different. And bring those knees together gently. Extending legs on out. Choose to put blocks under the knees or blanket under the knees. Choose to cover the body with a blanket. Notice if your shoulders are reaching to the ears, see if you can slide your scapula down just a little more and feel the ease in your neck. And so you want to let those legs kind of be splayed out to the side. And you don't want to sit with the legs crossed, just letting them release. Or if there's pain in the back, the blocks under the knees or the blanket will help. Or you can bend your knees like so. Don't let your feet go as wide as that. As you've got your shoulders settled, you can also place your hands on your heart, your belly, take time now to let it go. Allow your body to empty into gravity. Feel all of you completely relaxed. Everything is letting go, your legs are heavy. Notice the weight of your head. Your eyes letting go into the eye sockets. Softening around your ears. Your jawline. Completely at ease. Your shoulder blades are like stones in the lake, heavy, letting go. Feel the ease down the upper arm, the forearms, your hands and your fingers. Feel your pelvis relaxing into the ground. Supported by the earth. heaviness of your femurs, the biggest bones in your body. Letting go. Feel your shins, releasing any tension. Your ankles at ease. The bones in your feet, your toes. Completely relaxed. Become aware of the gentle rise and fall of your chest. There's no effort, it's just your sustained breath. And carry this with you everywhere you go. This marvelous tool that can help to calm you down. Allow the thoughts to float by like clouds in the sky. They just pass by. That's the practice. Not grabbing hold, not judging them, not investigating them. Aware of the breath. Begin to allow the breath to grow longer. Calling your body back. Begin to gently wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe gently rock the head. Make any organic movements that call your body back. Maybe a long stretch from your fingers to your toes. Just taking a few moments to check in. And when you're ready to, fold your knees into your chest. Roll over onto your right side. This is thought to help revive you. Take a moment, repeat your intention. Maybe link it with your name. Letting your hands go down in front of your chest. Make your way into a seated position as we just take a few moments of reflection here. Find a comfortable seat. And reconnect with the breath, letting the eyes close. Just taking a moment to receive the gifts of your practice. You're completely responsible. You show up on your mat. Patanjali Sutra, Thread 133. The mind becomes quiet when it cultivates friendliness in the presence of happiness, active compassion in the presence of unhappiness, joy in the presence of virtue, and indifference towards error. Maybe contemplating, how can I stay neutral and see clearly? And staying a few moments connected with the breath. Yoga has got these marvelous tools that help us feel better in a physical way, as well as the energetic. Allows the mind to get calmer, less reactive. And the marvelous thing is you just take a moment to witness what you've done with your practice. Every time you do that, you have gained another tool to carry with you in the rest of your day. Center, holding gratitude for our gathering this morning. And although we can't be in the same room, we can still be in the same space energetically, emotionally, and camaraderie. Carrying this feeling and the tools that we've cultivated this morning the rest of the day, maybe the rest of the week. United voices in the sound flow. Hariom Shanti, Shalom, peace. Namaste, the light of the honors, the light in you. Take your time.